गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन। फ्रॉम टुडे ऑनवर्ड्स वी आर स्टार्टिंग ए न्यू सीरीज़ एंड इस सीरीज़ में हम इकोनॉमी के मेन टॉपिक्स हैं उनको कवर करेंगे एंड ये थीम वाइज कवरेज होने वाली है। सो टुडेज टॉपिक इज MSME सेक्टर। MSME दैट मीन्स माइक्रो, स्मॉल एंड मीडियम एंटरप्राइज। सो ये कवरेज है, ये मीन्स पर्सपेक्टिव से होने वाली है। दैट मीन्स हम इसके रिलेटेड जो भी टॉपिक्स हैं उन सबको एक साथ कवर करने वाले हैं। सो फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट टॉपिक होगा व्हाट इज MSME। सेकंड जो है इसका सिग्निफिकेंस और कंट्रीब्यूशन, दैट व्हाट इज द कंट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ MSME सेक्टर। देन व्हाट आर द चैलेंजेस faced by MSME sector, and in the end we are going to discuss government initiatives. Now first thing first, what is MSME? So MSME stands for micro, small and medium enterprises. Actually we have a proper MSME ministry, and in case of India the classification of MSME is on the basis of investment and on the basis of turnover. Usually in case of Western countries the classification is on the basis of number of people which are employed in a particular enterprise, but in our case it is on the basis of investment and on the basis of turnover. And this classification is as per the provisions of MSME Development Act of 2006. Recently the government has amended the definition. As per the new definition, the classification is as follows. M, that is micro, small and medium. Now one thing that should be noted is that in case of new definition there is no discrimination or difference between enterprise related to manufacturing, that is manufacturing enterprise, and service enterprise. So both are considered as same as far as new definition is concerned. Then what is the main criteria for classification? One is investment and second is turnover. So for micro it is 1 CR, that is 1 crore. Okay, 1 CR, 5 CR, 10 CR, that is 10 crore, 50 CR, 50 and 250 CR. So this is the latest definition of MSME. Now there is no difference in service based MSME and manufacturing based MSME. Both are considered as same. Now coming to the significance of MSME. In fact, in most of the examinations they ask direct question that what is the significance of MSME sector? To what extent MSME contribute to the Indian economy? So if we have to discuss the significance, then couple of things are very, very important. First thing first, in terms of employment. So MSME sector provide huge employment in our country. In fact, it is the second largest employer after agriculture sector. Agriculture sector provide employment to roughly 50% of the population. That means roughly 50% of the population is engaged in agriculture sector. In case of MSME, it provide employment to roughly 120 million people. Apart from employment opportunities, it is also responsible for a significant contribution in GDP. GDP stands for gross domestic product. So a significant contribution in GDP is done by MSME sector. In case of service based MSME and manufacturing based MSME, the contribution is as follows. Service based MSME roughly contribute 24% and manufacturing based enterprises constitute roughly 6%. That means as of now the contribution of MSME sector is roughly 30%. It should be noted that the government has kept a target of taking this 30% to 50% by 2025. That means MSME sector is going to contribute roughly half of our GDP by 2025. This is our target. Now, apart from employment and GDP, so this is going to be significance or contribution. So one is employment, then contribution in GDP, then it will lead to new employment opportunities. It will also lead to financial inclusion. Financial inclusion. What is financial inclusion? That means providing formal banking facilities or formal banking system access to those who are unbanked. Unbanked means those who do not have banking facilities as of now. So those who do not have banking facilities as of now, they will be provided the banking facilities, that means formal banking facilities. So it will lead to financial inclusion. How it will lead to? See, once a person receive employment opportunity, they will receive a regular salary and that salary can be transferred into their bank account. So it will lead to financial inclusion. Apart from that, it will also lead to empowerment. It should be noted that roughly 10 to 15% of MSME units are operated by women. They are operated, that means managed by women only. That means women head those organizations. So that is quite significant, and keeping this in mind, they also lead to inclusive growth. Inclusive growth. What is inclusive growth? Inclusive growth means, just a second, inclusive growth. So inclusive growth means the growth of vulnerable sections of society, vulnerable sections of society, or in simplest term, the benefits of development, benefits of development are reaching to everyone. So that is inclusive growth. Now, if women are going to be financially independent, that means there will be development of vulnerable section and therefore it will lead to inclusive growth. Okay, now coming back to the original point. So it will lead to inclusive growth, it will lead to women empowerment, it will provide huge employment opportunities, it contributes significantly to the GDP, it is also responsible for financial inclusion. Apart from that, it will also promote innovation, and it will also promote rural entrepreneurship. It should be noted that roughly 50% of MSME units are in rural areas. So roughly 50% are in rural areas. So these are some of the most important points that you should keep in mind. Now, these are the significance or contribution of MSME sector, then what are the challenges faced by MSME sector? First and foremost challenge is that MSME sector do not have access to formal credit. That means most of the time they do not have access to formal institutions like bank for their credit mechanism. So credit is one of the biggest hurdle. Apart from that, they do not have most advanced technologies. So technology, or you can say lack of technology, is another major problem in case of MSME. Apart from that, they have a problem in raw material assessment. Raw material. How raw material is a problem? See, MSME do not have much financial resources, so they cannot store too much raw material. Now suppose there is a processing unit or food processing unit. It do not have too much resources at its disposal. That means it cannot store too much raw material. Therefore, it will have to procure on regular basis. Now, if there is a problem in supply, then that can create a huge problem for MSME sector. That is why they face problem in procurement of raw material. Apart from that, they do not have skilled manpower. In addition to this thing, they also face a problem of regulatory cholesterol. What is regulatory cholesterol? That means the regulations of the government are so strict that sometimes these units do not even think about them. That means they try to avoid them, or they stop that idea. That means they do not pursue that idea because of the over regulation, because of too much paperwork in simplest sense, or red tapeism. They kind of avoid expansion of their units. So these are common problems like lack of credit, lack of modern technology, lack of skilled manpower, lack of procurement or challenges in the procurement of raw material, regulatory cholesterol. These are common challenges faced by MSME units. Apart from that, there is one more problem in scaling. Scaling means they are not able to take their business to a very high level. And because of this problem in scaling, their profit margin are very low. So because of that, the profit margin is low. And that is why they are not able to compete with big companies. They are not able to compete with big companies. Another problem is lack of market access. MSME units do not have sufficient financial resources. MSME units do not have access to most advanced infrastructure. So infrastructure bottleneck is another problem. That means poor quality of infrastructure also act as a barrier in the growth of MSME sector. So these are the challenges. Now we are going to discuss some of the government initiatives for MSME sector. First and foremost initiative is GEM. That is Government E-Marketplace. Actually, it is just like Amazon. Whenever we need to shop something, we just go to Amazon or any other shopping site. Similarly, whenever government need to procure something, they can use this marketplace to procure. Now, it will have two advantages. A, it will increase transparency in procurement. Transparency. B, it will also provide support to, that means JAM will provide support to MSME units. How? Because government has encouraged MSME units participation in this portal. As of now, roughly 57% of order value is processed by MSME. That means if 100 rupees items are purchased on this portal, rupees worth 57 are provided by MSME units. So this is a huge contribution by MSME sector, and this will provide boost to the local products as well. Apart from that, government has also started Sambandh portal, MSME Sambandh portal. Now this portal has been set up to speed up the procurement process under this GEM portal. So for procurement. Another portal that has been set up is MSME Samadhan. MSME Samadhan. So this portal has been set up to address the problem in delay in payment. Delayed payments. So suppose some government entity purchased some item from MSME unit, however the payment is delayed. In order to resolve such issues, this MSME Samadhan has been set up. Under this platform, the MSME units can register their grievances. That means they can register their problems and they can be speed tracked. Apart from that, there is one more initiative, RAMP fund or RAMP initiative, that is raising and accelerating MSME performance. Okay, under this RAMP initiative, World Bank is going to be our implementation partner. Apart from that, the government has started PSB loan in 59 minutes initiative. The objective is to provide speedy loan facility to the MSME units through PSB, that is public sector banks. Apart from that, there is one more initiative. I think I should write on next slide. So one is Safurti, that is a scheme of fund for regeneration of traditional industries. As the name suggests, the objective is to provide a boost or to provide a support for the regeneration of traditional industries like handicrafts. Apart from that, there is one more scheme, Aspire. That is a scheme for promotion of innovation, rural entrepreneurship, rural industry and entrepreneurship. Apart from that, the government has also launched ZED initiative. What is ZED? It is zero effect, zero defect. Okay, zero effect, zero defect means a product should have zero impact or zero harmful impact on the environment. That is zero effect. That means it should not have any harmful impact on the environment. Zero defect means the product should not have any quality related issues. That is how it is going to become a brand. So it will lead to a brand name. So the objective is that MSME unit products should not have any harmful impact on the environment, plus they should not have any defective piece. So this will lead to brand building, and that will also promote exports. Apart from that, there is one more initiative, Samarth initiative. So the objective of this initiative is to promote women entrepreneurs in the field of MSME. Okay, these were some of the steps taken by the government to provide support to the MSME sector. Now we are going to have a look at the recommendations of UK Sinha Committee. UK Sinha Committee. Actually, this committee was set up by RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India. So, in terms of MSME, they have faced three major issues. One is demonetization, second is GST, and third is COVID. So because of these issues, the growth in MSME sector has become more or less stagnant. After the demonetization and GST, they faced a lot of problems, and that is why government, or to be specific, RBI constituted this UK Sinha Committee, and then this committee recommended, first and foremost, it recommended that there should be a monitoring committee. To oversee the delayed payment issue. Why delayed payment is such a big problem for MSME? Because these do not have too much resources. So if they are going to receive the payment for their previous product, then only they will be able to utilize that money for their next product. They do not have too much capital at their disposal. So for delayed payment, there should be a monitoring committee. Apart from that, this UK Sinha Committee also recommended Apex Council or top level council, Apex Council, and this council is to be chaired by Prime Minister. That means at central level it should be chaired by Prime Minister, at states level it should be under Chief Minister of that particular state. Apart from that, it also recommended that SIDBI should play a bigger role. What is SIDBI? It is Small Industries Development Bank of India. So it acts as a financial supporter for MSME. For MSME sector, that means it is very prominent in terms of providing finance to the MSME sector. So the recommendation was that it should play a larger role. Apart from that, the committee or UK Sinha Committee also recommended emergency fund. Emergency fund worth 5,000 crore rupees. 5,000 crore rupees. So why this fund was recommended? See, sometimes MSME face problems because of external circumstances. External circumstances, that means because of these external circumstances their business is hampered and therefore they are not able to repay loan on time. Repay loan on time, and therefore that loan became non-performing asset. Non-performing asset. So this committee recommended that there should be an emergency fund in order to provide support to these MSME units in circumstances of external crisis, for example, or some external factors, for example, demonetization. So demonetization was not in the control of MSME units, still they faced problems because most of these units still deal in cash. So that was a problem. Subsequently, GST was another problem, then COVID was another problem. So because of these issues, their growth was hampered. That is why this committee recommended this. So far we have discussed what is MSME. MSME stands for micro, small and medium enterprises. Micro, small and medium enterprises. Then we have discussed what is MSME, what is the new definition as per MSME ministry. What is the significance of MSME sector, that means contribution of MSME sector. Then we have discussed the challenges faced by them and various government initiatives. And in the end, we have discussed the recommendations of UK Sinha committee. Okay. So the definition is on the basis of investment and turnover. Investment means how much amount we invest. Suppose in order to start manufacturing of this particular pen, I have started with an investment of say 1 lakh. The cost of per pen is 1000. In the year, if I have sold 100 pens or 10 pens say, then the turnover for that particular year will be 10,000. That means the amount of revenue generated in that particular year. It is not the profit, please keep that in mind. So, as per new definition, the investment amount for micro units is less than 1 crore and turnover is less than 5 crore. That means up to 5 crore. Then for small it is 10 crore and 50 crore. For medium enterprises it is 50 and 250. Then we discussed the significance of MSME, that MSME sector provide employment to huge population in our country. One more thing, that it provide employment to 120 million, and as of now roughly there are 60 million MSME units in our country. Units, and maximum are in small category. So this is another problem. Okay, now coming back to employment, that means 120 million people are employed in this particular sector. Contribution in GDP is roughly 30%. That means roughly 24% from service sector, service based MSME, and then roughly 6% from manufacturing based MSME. Total contribution is 30%. The target is to take it to 50% by 2025. Then we have discussed the significance that it provide employment, it provide significant contribution in GDP, it also lead to women empowerment because up to 10-15% MSME units are headed by women only. That is why it will lead to women empowerment. Subsequently, it will also lead to inclusive growth. Inclusive growth means growth of vulnerable sections of society. Then it will also promote innovation because these MSME units cater to demand of local areas or that particular area. That is why they try to make custom products, and that is why it promote innovation. It also lead to financial inclusion. Apart from that, This was the definition of financial inclusion. Then the challenges faced by them. So one of the biggest challenges is credit support, or they do not have access to formal credit institutions like bank. Apart from that, they do not have updated technology. In fact, most of them work on outdated technology. Another problem is that they have very low profit margin. Then there is a problem of regulatory cholesterol. That means regulation is too much, that this regulation is stifling their growth, and because of this they prefer to stay small. They prefer to stay small. In fact, this was highlighted in the economic survey as well. Economic survey. So what is the solution? Solution is that we need to increase the ease of doing business. Okay, another problem is processing or procurement of raw material. Infrastructure act as another problem. Infrastructure like road connectivity, road. Then there is a problem in scaling. That means they are not able to make their business very big. Problem of lack of skilled manpower and access of market. Regular market access is another challenge in front of them. Then government initiatives. So we have discussed MSME Sambandh portal, MSME Samadhan portal, RAMP initiative. Then we have discussed government e-marketplace initiative, PSB loan in 59 minutes. Apart from that, we have also discussed Aspire scheme. Aspire stands for a scheme for promotion of innovation, rural industry and entrepreneurship. We have also discussed SMART initiative. The objective of this initiative is to promote women entrepreneurship in case of MSME sector. Then we have discussed this Safurti scheme for regeneration of traditional industries like handicrafts. Then we have discussed ZED, that is zero effect, zero defect. So objective is to make sure that they do not have any harmful impact on environment and they do not have quality issues, so that they can become good brands and they can have good export potential. This will also serve, or it will also solve the problem of market access. Okay, then we have discussed the recommendations of UK Sinha committee, the background in which this committee was set up by RBI to suggest recommendations for the growth of MSME sector. The sector was facing problems because of demonetization, then GST and then COVID. Actually, it was set up before COVID. However, COVID also acted as a barrier for the growth of MSME sector. So it recommended a monitoring committee so that delayed payments issue can be resolved. Apart from that, it also recommended apex level council. Apex means top level council. Objective is to speed up the entire process. Then it recommended that SIDBI need to play a bigger role or larger role in providing credit facility, or to be specific, formal credit, that means institutional credit, to MSME units. And last but not least, it also recommended emergency fund so that MSME units can be supported in case of any external factor. That means if they are facing problem because of some external circumstances, then in such cases MSME units can be supported from this fund. So that was all for this topic. Thank you.